feel so powerful coming here because this is the first space that has actually allowed me to speak. So India does have a representation at COP on certain levels, but I could not see a single Adivasi indigenous person inside COP. And we could not get a single Adivasi indigenous person allowed to be allowed to speak in those spaces. And I would have started, speaking by saying sorry, but I realized that I have been saying sorry for so long for taking up all the space that I really, really deserve. In India, the Adivasi community is not recognized as indigenous, even though India does, acknowledge the UN Declaration for Indigenous Rights. We are not acknowledged as indigenous because they say that everyone who lives in India is indigenous. And that is how they marginalize us. That is how they assimilate us into the mainstream society. And that is one of the reasons there is a cultural genocide that is going in India and nobody knows about it. The other issue that I wanted to talk about is of residential schools in India. We know about the residential schools in Canada, but nobody knows about the residential schools in India that are taking place right now as we speak. And these schools are not just, not just being supported by the radical or the main majority religious groups. They are also funded by the mining companies like Vedanta. And that is something that we need to talk about because these companies get to culturally displace us not just from our lands, but from our culture as well. And these residential schools, then, they don't allow our children to meet their parents for months. These children get harassed and beaten for speaking in their language. They don't know about their culture, they don't know about their language, they don't know about their history. And it has been leading to a huge identity crisis in Adivasi youths. So I wanted to talk about this residential school, which has led to a cultural genocide, and the fact that we are not recognized as indigenous community has led to a very limited solidarity for the Adivasi community in India. So here I'm standing because I demand solidarity for my people who are indigenous to India. Before I get off the stage, I'll just like to mention one name. So I would like to mention about Hidme Markam. She's an indigenous woman who got imprisoned, and she has been in prison for more than 200 days now. And ironically, she was captured on the day we were celebrating International Women's Day. And these indigenous women were gathered in solidarity for all the indigenous women who get raped and murdered by the state. And she was captured and detained, and now she has been in prison for 200 days now, more than 200 days. And there is no media coverage locally in India. And the fact that we are not recognized as indigenous also takes away the leverage of us getting any recognition or any attention globally. So this is my cry, for her to be recognized and seen as a political prisoner and, to get some attention and pressure. The fact that she needs to be out there because she has been fighting so long for all against the iron ore mining that has been going on and against the criminalization and branding of Adivasi youths, falsely being imprisoned. Hidme Markam. Presente, presente, presente. Hidme Markam.
Presente, presente, presente.